dias, noches, and whatever the afternoon is. Be in of all that. You know what I'm saying? This is a motherfucking daily opinion podcast, not fact checking, no facts. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully everyone had a good little weekend. This is coming out on Tuesday, I believe. So hopefully everyone had a good time. They got everyone was binge drinking, doing their cocaine. It's not good to do it during the work week because you're going to be tired the next day and you're going to be feeling like shit. You got to do it on Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday, you get up off of it, work out or something, make sure you sweat it out the system, go into a sauna, and then going to work on Monday. You're still going to have like a minor headache when you wake up because you're still sweating everything out. But as long as you get that cocaine, that alcohol, that MDMA in, that Molly, that ecstasy, you should be straight. You should be straight. But if not, you gotta do a little bit better. Hopefully this fixes the echo right here. But yeah, gotta do a little bit better, my folks. But yep, another episode, another day. Hopefully everyone's doing good. You feel me? Let's see. So let's get into what the fuck has been going on. Actually, I think I had some questions. Some shit I could just talk about for no good ass reason. Let's see if I can find it. It's in my notes somewhere. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. For those who haven't used ChatGPT yet, it's pretty cool. You should check it out. So pretty much what ChatGPT is a AI. So essentially right now we're in Web 2. So Web 2, you type in shit and then it pops out with the answer to it. So, you say, how old is Holly Berry? And it's going to pop out. This bitch is 86 years old, whatever the fuck, right? ChatGPT, you can ask it to like, hey, make a song with Holly Berry or make a rhyming song with Holly Berry and Snoop Dogg about rainbows, and it'll generate a song with Holly Berry and Snoop Dogg about rainbows that's different than, if you were to ask it to do shit with, Celine Dion about, M&Ms or some shit. You know what I mean? So it should be done for everyone. And the main thing, and that's going to be Web 3, is where you can put shit into the internet. I don't know what the next Google is going to be that's using AI, but essentially, putting it in there, it will generate something specific to it. So right now, that's what ChatGPT is. It's like a trial period of it. It's free, so you can go on chatgpt.com. They're not paying me or anything because no one fucking listens to this goddamn podcast, but it is what it is. Excuse me. So you can go on there, fuck around with it. So I did it, and I thought it was pretty cool. And the main part that people are trying to get, that are getting like a little bit weirded out by it, is the fact that it's going to change schooling forever, because you can put in there, hey, write an essay about 1860s revolution that emphasizes the steel industrial workers and anything about like maybe the stock market crash. Like I put in, how do lions affect the stock market? And the motherfucker spit out, lions do not, in fact, what's it called? Affect the stock market. But, and then they went down the whole thing, and then they showed like how I believe lions escaped from a zoo at some place or whatever, and it said that affected the zoo stock market in a way, but in large, like, lions do not affect the stock market. And then at the end, it kind of gives you a little blip that say this is like, fictional, or, this is just a trial period thing. Some things are going to be wrong in it, you know what I'm saying? But it's pretty interesting because you can see how things are definitely going to change and how schooling is going to have to be different because, back in my day, you would actually have to go to the computer lab, type something up, cite your sources and everything. You can have the AI do it and then have it cite its own sources, and it will do that for you automatically. So, I'm assuming that within the schooling system, they're going to have people that literally, you're going to have to do the essay while you're there. You can't just put it in the AI and just let it go wild, And right now there is a word limit to it. So as time goes on, there's going to be more and more limits so that you can actually have it write like a 5-page essay on whatever the fuck you need to have. And I had it write a essay on quantum physics and include Skittles, and it included Skittles with it. It was kind of a little bit cookie cutter. Like the very first paragraph is always like, kind of the Wikipedia summary page of it all, like quantum physics, and then it kind of describes it, and then it goes into the actual AI portion of it at the bottom. But, play around with it is going to definitely be the future, and you don't want to be no fucking fuddy-duddy out here not understanding how AI works and still using it like Google, and your kids are like, you don't have to actually ask it how old she is. You can just say, make a fucking story out of it or whatever, So cool stuff. We're definitely getting into the virtual age, I guess. So let's move on to some news portion of the shit. Right now I just read French Montana ducked inside of a KFC for about 40 minutes until the authority arrived because people were shooting outside. I don't believe that he was the actual person being shot at, but it is what it is. I mean, it would be kind of cool to go. I mean, it would be interesting because, like, but also, who gives a fuck about, I don't know. I don't give a fuck about French Montana. I don't know any of his songs. I don't understand how he's a rapper because I ain't heard him rap on shit. And any song that I hear him, I'm like, this nigga is fucking garbage, but is what it is. So yeah, French Montana ducked inside of a KFC trying to chill and shit. Not chill, but, get out of the way of gunfire. And I'm like, that makes sense. I was thinking about it today. I was like, man, I'm making good money in my industry and everything. And I'm, on the upwards track for making even more money and becoming like, a manager at a younger age than most other people would be. I've already been a manager, so I think that skill set is going to help me in the future. But it's like, my life is on an upward trajectory and, I'm going to be making money. And like, I was thinking like, if I were to go to the club and then like, I'm about to get jumped or some bullshit or like a nigga trying to talk to my girl, I'm gonna be like, my girl locked up with me. Like, she not gonna go with some random ass nigga for no reason. She gonna be like, okay, what the fuck do you? I know this nigga got more than the most regular person. She talk about me like I got more than the most regular niggas. So it's like, why the fuck would I fuck with this random ass nigga? You know what I'm saying? So like, I was thinking like, why the fuck would I be trying to fight some nigga? Like, and maybe get knocked the fuck out and like, go to the hospital or something. Like, even with me, I play basketball still, and I'm like, these motherfuckers that I go to the court with, and they balling out like it's motherfucking NBA season. And I'm just kind of like, I'm just trying to get some cardio, and I'm not about to go heavy because I'm like, if I fall and bust my knee open and I can't work or whatever, like, bro, I ain't got the time for that shit, So I don't know what the mind, like, because some people be like, man, that's some bitch shit. I know if I'm French Montana, I got millions of dollars. I'm like, bro, my life is on a trajectory to be like the shit. It's already the shit. I'm not trying to end this shit now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if there's gunfire, I'm about to duck and wait till the authorities get there and motherfucking chill. And then people gonna be like, this nigga a bitch, this nigga a hoe. It's like, well, honestly, he should have security, so I don't know what the fuck that's all about. I mean, still, like, people, security can still get shot. So, he can still get shot through security, so never mind that. But I understand. I'm like, shit, if I'm a millionaire, I'm taking my life seriously. That's why I feel like some people be throwing their lives away because the only thing they got is pride. So it's like, shit, a nigga want to try me off my name. Like, my name is all I got, so I'm willing to die over this shit. Versus if he making $100,000 a year, he's like, I'm whipping out, like, in a nice, maybe 2015 Porsche and everything, looking good. I can fuck girls and everything like that. Versus he working at McDonald's or something. Like, nothing wrong with working at McDonald's. I'm just saying he probably don't have, like, crazy bread and shit. And it just don't work out. Like, he ain't really got too much to live off of. Cause that's why you see motherfuckers, like, it was like this 32-year-old and killed his stepson over $10. He said he disrespected him, saying he's not gonna give him his $10 over an NFL, or I'm sorry, a Madden game. And he said, fuck your money, essentially. And, killed a 16-year-old or 18-year-old or something like that. I'm like, who the fuck are you being 32 years old, killing an 18, 16-year-old off it? Because I guarantee he ain't had shit going on. I guarantee he wasn't like a lawyer making, $250,000 stressing about some $10, saying like, I'd rather go to jail for the rest of my life than to not have this $10. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. You got to have things to live for. And you can't live for a person unless it's like maybe a kid or something. Not even scratch that, because shit can happen to where your kids get fucked up, maybe get off them yammies and everything, and now like they drug addicts and they get caught up in a fucked up situation, and maybe they pass on. There's crazier things that happen. That fentanyl be a motherfucking beast. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to live the life that you want to live. You got to figure out something that you want to live for. Like, hey, I want to live for me and my successes, and then kind of drive towards those successes. I mean, I guess you could live for your kids, but like, that's the thing, like the kid situation, like I already said. And then if you live if you live for your wife or something, people can leave you. And if you live for them and they leave you, you might either be suicidal, you might be homicidal, or you might go depressed, and you can't control another person's emotions towards you. You can do your best to, but sometimes working towards those emotions will drive the person farther away, such as the fact of like, you might love a girl, But then the clingier you are with her, the more she kind of steps back. And if she leaves you because you're being too clingy, because you love her, that's gonna be something like that. That shit just don't work out. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, hopefully everyone can find something to live for and don't, you know. And it's not just they name that they're living for. They actually living for something that's something that they can drive towards. But either way, I think I'm getting too deep into some bullshit. I don't even know if what I said made any sense, but it is what it is. No one fucking listens to this shit anyway. But if they go back and start listening, they're gonna be like, this nigga was really off one. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, we about to get into it. Okay, yeah, this man that passed away, Little Keed or Little Scar, I believe. Let me go and see what this man's name is. So essentially, this rapper, I believe his name was Little Scar. I'm not familiar with his music, but he was signed with Gucci Mane or Atlantic Records, and he had passed away for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure how he passed away. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big Scar was his name. And his family and friends came out saying that Gucci Mane, who is like the main person from Atlanta, I'm not sure if he owns her, if he's just a main guy. He asked for his 1017 chain back, which if you get signed to Atlantic Records, I believe they give you a 1017 all diamond out chain and everything like that. He asked for that chain back. And his family said, yeah, fuck no. I believe his sister came out and said, you have to get that shit back in blood, which I'm like, I wouldn't say that to Gucci Mane, a millionaire that did come up from like, you know, some Atlanta shit. So I personally wouldn't have said that, but they might really be about that lifestyle. But she said, get it back in blood. And then she asked him to pay for the funeral. And she said that he said, no, I'm not paying for that fucking funeral type shit. And you know, it may have gotten out. Well, it did get out. So Gucci Mane posted on his thing that he paid $20,000 to the funeral director in order to NJ Forrest Son's funeral. No, I'm sorry, he only paid $10,000. Not only, but yeah, he paid $10,000 towards the funeral. So he's like, you know, I paid for it. They just wanted me to. He was saying that. Oh, I'm sorry, Gucci Mane's wife. I don't think Gucci Mane said anything. He just posted the receipt. His wife said that they wanted him to give them the money, and then they would do it as they please. You know what I mean? And so she's like, we're not going to give them the money because we don't know if it's going to go towards a funeral. You know what I'm saying? They could have just pocketed it and gave him like some bullshit funeral or something like that, like one that's worth 50,000. Or they could have hiked up the price saying like the funeral's gonna be worth 20, it's actually worth 10. They pocket $10,000. Gucci Mane like, I'm not paying y'all, I'm paying the funeral home for everything. So Gucci Mane paid for it. Everything's good to go. But and you know the dad comes out and you know thanks Gucci Mane, but I guess the sister's keeping the fucking chain or something, and you know she kind of looking like a liar right now, which kind of seeming like it, because I'm like, there are only two ways this shit could have went down. Either, number one, Gucci Mane was like, fuck everybody, I want my fucking chain back, and was being money grubbing about the shit. And then when he saw that, but that's the thing, I don't think Gucci Mane is going to get a lot of pushback. Like, he might get pushback for a week on the shit, but after that, they're going to be like, okay, fuck it, who cares? Like, I mean, not who cares, but it's like, you know, there's some little shit, like whatever. Like, people forget, you know what I'm saying? If it's not your family, people forget about that. So he could have just been like, okay, there's bad press. I'm going to do it now that it's getting out. Or he could have already been on the shit, and then the sister didn't know that he was going to pay the funeral home already and tried to essentially extort him through public shaming. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but, well, I mean, it worked out with him getting his motherfucking thing paid for, so I guess it worked out fine for him. Or at least the family, at least. And yeah, also R.I.P. Big Scar. Haven't heard any of his songs, but you know, if he got signed, he's definitely a better rapper than I am. But yeah, yep. Let's see. So hopefully all that shit's figured out. Okay, we have Ron Jeremy won't stand trial for raping 21 women because now he has dementia. And I'm like, I don't get it. I'm like, this nigga must really be a horn dog, because I'm like, I guarantee you people would still hire Ron Jeremy because he's just a star in the industry. And if you don't know who Ron Jeremy is, he is a pornographic star that was big back in like I can't even tell you, maybe the 70s, I guess. I'm not sure. Damn, it's been 50 years since the 70s, over 50 years. So yeah, and I guess let's see how old he is. We'll read the thing. Ron Jeremy will reportedly be declared incompetent to stand trial before more than 30 counts of rape. According to Los Angeles Times, a retired film star, 69, Ronald Jeremy is 69 and is suffering from severe dementia and will be declared unfit from trial on January 17th and likely be placed in a state-run hospital following allegations from at least 20 women since June of 2020. How is he raping women at 67 years old? How is he doing that? The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office and an attorney for hire did not immediately respond to the people's request for comment. In an email obtained by the LA Times, LA County Detective District Attorney Paul Thomason and the mental health experts enlisted by both the prosecutors and Hyatt's legal team determined that his condition, blah, 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 a bunch of bullshit. But yeah, so I guess Ron Jeremy might be going to jail. I don't know what's up with these. The 70s must have been really fucking wild because I feel like a lot of these older folks are going to jail because of this shit. And that's the thing. Ron Jeremy's was recent. Like Bill Cosby's was like years ago. But again, he's 69 right now. So 3 years ago he was 66, and he was raping people in 2020. So that's it's pretty deep. I didn't even know you could still fuck at 66, but I guess he could. But yeah, and that's the thing. Like if you're an adult film star, like why don't you just get back into films? I mean, I guess he's 66, but they definitely have old young porn. And people would die. Well, I guess it might be expensive to get Ron Jeremy, and who's really trying to look at some old dick, but I don't know. Hey, it is what it is. Let's see. Now, this shit right here blew my mind because I was like, man, this just shows you how much people just want money, So if you follow soccer, I'm not a big soccer guy, but, I hear it a lot, and for some reason, this World Cup was huge. Pele just died. I guess he was a big guy back in the day for soccer. I've heard of his name before, like Beckham, Pele, Cristiano Ronaldo, and I can't remember the other guy. But it says Saudi Arabia is set to bend its marriage law to allow Cristiano Ronaldo to live with his partner Georgiana Rodriguez. Saudi Arabia marriage laws forbids couples that are not married from living together. And people are getting on him saying, like, if he'd rather just fucking make Saudi Arabia bend their laws instead of just marrying you, then that means something. I'm like, I don't understand the whole mindset with getting married and shit. The shit that kills me is that, like, my friends will ask me, I'm with a long-term girlfriend. They'll be like, so when y'all getting married? I'm like, bitch, when the fuck is you getting married? Why the fuck you asking me about my shit? Like, you've been with your girl longer than I've been with my girl. Where the fuck are you getting married? Why are you asking me that? Why do you give a fuck? Like, what is that? Like, it's like a weird pressuring system we have in the United States where it's like everybody got to pressure everyone else in the marriage. Like, what the fuck is that? And really, there's no positives to marriage. The only thing that people say is taxes. I'm like, other than that, like, whenever you split up, everyone got to split everything. That's ridiculous. No, it's fucking stupid. But whatever. It's also like they might not be ready for marriage. How about that? Like, if you dating someone, how long has these motherfuckers been dating? Let's see. We're going to look this up right now. How long has I don't even know this, but Ronaldo and Georgina been together? There we go. Since 2016. Okay, so that's a pretty long time. After meeting in the Gucci store, and she was working as a sales assistant. That's so crazy, bro. What is that called? It's called hypertogamy is what it's called, where you only date up. And obviously most girls, they date up and guys will date down. And there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes people want to play stupid, like, because, I mean, she's a sales associate. I mean, at a Gucci store, I mean, what's she making? Like probably 60, whatever the fuck equivalent of 60,000 is in America at the most. And he's making fucking damn near $1 billion, whatever the fuck it is. Oh yeah, and the reason they're doing this whole law thing is because Cristiano Ronaldo just signed with Saudi Arabia Soccer League, and Saudi Arabia just had a change of laws where they said if you're not married, you can't live with each other, and also you can't have sex with each other and shit. I don't know why they're doing that. I guess it's some religious something or other, but whatever. Yeah, very interesting stuff. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm like, if I'm Georgina, I'll be like, man, I don't give a fuck. This nigga bossed up my life so fucking much. Like, I got so much shit versus just being a regular ass girl working at Gucci. Like, he can date. I don't know. And I'll be like, motherfucker, you better not start pressuring me. I don't know, man. It's weird. I don't understand the whole marriage thing. I really don't. Because everyone, it's weird because people want to be like, yeah, we're not in traditional lifestyles anymore. You know, men and women usually work, and some dudes want, their woman to not work, but it's just hard in today's time to be like, you know, if you're my wife, you don't have to work, you just stay at home, because it's like most people, inflation's a motherfucker, bro. Inflation's a motherfucker. But then they still do this traditional marriage shit. I'm like, that's so, I don't know. It seems like I'm really the only one. Everyone else in the world seems like they just want to get married. But whatever, it is what it is. I'm the weird one. Moving on to the next one. Sheesh. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. All right. Yeah, something going on in Louisiana. They trying to change some shit up. Okay, so sodas with kids' meals are no longer allowed in New Orleans, which obviously is in Louisiana. Louisiana. Only water, milk, and fruit drinks. You can get fined $200 on your third warning. I don't even know what that means, because I'm like, if it's a kid's meal, that's on that's on the place that you're patronizing to give you the shit. Like, why are you giving them? Let's see. Let's read it. The new year has brought a change to children's fast food meals in New Orleans, as they now must come with a healthy drink under the city council's ordinance aimed at retaining or reining in childhood obesity. The healthy meal beverage ordinance passed last January went into effect on Sunday and limits children's meals to water, milk, or 100% fruit juice as drink options. We know that sugar-sweetened beverages are the primary source of added sugar in the diets of children, and excess sugar intake contributes to diet-related diseases like diabetes and heart disease later in life, says Jeannie Donovan, whoever the fuck that is. The NOHD helped craft the rule with the support of the American Heart Association, and the department will launch a concurrent education campaign around the children's beverage choices. Kids and parents are still able to order sugary drinks off the menu, but not as part of the kids' meal combo. Okay. According to the District E Councilwoman Sydney Negan, who supported the bill when it was passed, kids aged 2 to 4 in New Orleans will have a 14% obesity rate. Yeah, 2 to 4 is a bit quick. It's really about helping young people stay healthy, not taking away the rights of our parents, Negan said last year. See, I'm not understanding this, because is this only for like the school system, or is this for like McDonald's if you're out with your kid and you give them a soda? Like, because that's the thing, like if he ain't eating a meal but you give him a soda, like, is there a problem? I don't know. This is very up in the air. I would have to read into it. And I'm not doing that shit because there's motherfucking no facts out this bitch. I mean, I get it, I guess, because, I don't know, sometimes I don't have any kids, but I can assume that shit's annoying as fuck. Like, but that's also because, like, people say that, like, if you give your kids sugary shit, they're going to be, like, off the wall, jumping around and shit. So, like, why would you give them sugary stuff? I guess they'd just be bitching for it. But I know I'm going to try to instill. That's the thing. You can always try to do some shit until you become a parent. And then it's like, okay, day in and day out, this motherfucker keep asking me, am I going to just beat his ass, which I don't want to do as a parent? Or am I going to just give it to him and just be like, okay, please shut up. Like, do what you need to do and go upstairs and go in your room, drink the soda, and start hopping around on your bed up there. Whatever, bro. If it works for you, it works for you. If it works for you, and it works for me, buddy. But yeah, I mean, I had to read it a little bit deeper into it because it just doesn't make any sense to me right now. Let's see. Wells Fargo Vice President Shankir Mirisha fired for urinating on passenger in plane. Now, this one had me stupid fucked up, because this is kind of the same one as there was a guy on a plane and he turned to the person sitting next to him. He was like, "Is it okay? Are you okay if I masturbate?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then she recorded like a 5-minute video. And then she reported him to the fucking people. And I'm like, why did you say yeah? Like, he gave you the choice. You say yeah. And then, like, why did you even say, why don't you just say no? I don't understand that. Like, it seems like people just want to get others in trouble. Like, he could have just been on some freaky shit. Like, hey, you could, like, no, don't do that shit, bro. It's like, okay, easy enough. And you record a 5-minute long video. I mean, this was a while ago, maybe last year or something like that. But here, not this particular one, but the one I just said where he was masturbating on the plane. But, okay. This dude, it says, Wells Fargo has terminated its vice president of operations in India after he allegedly urinated on a 17-year-old woman while they both flew business class aboard a recent Air India flight. Shakir Mishra, who worked for Wells Fargo at his Mumbai corporate office, was identified as the executive who was terminated, according to the English language news site of German public broadcaster Deutsche Welle. Duchetwell. Mirsha was said to be drunk aboard a November 26th flight from New York to New Delhi. During the flight, Mishra urinated on a 17-year-old woman who was seated next to him in business class, according to the report. An attorney for Mishra told local media that the banking executive reached a final financial statement with an unidentified victim as compensation. Reached a financial settlement with the unidentified victim as compensation. Myrna also allegedly reportedly arranged to have the woman's clothing and bag cleaned up after it was stained with his urine. But the woman is said to have returned the money and filed a complaint with the airline. According to the complaint, she asked the flight attendants and staff to have Mirsha arrested and kept away from her. Mirsha then reported to have sobered up. He apologized to the woman and begged. Because I'm like, yeah, he might have been drunk, but he also did ask, do you want $1,500 for me to piss on you? I don't get it. Man, I feel like after a while, if you we need documents for folks to sign. If you sign a document, it's over with. You can't fucking sue me for nothing. Like if a lady was like, bro, I'm cool if you piss on me, you pee on them, and then they're like, actually, I wasn't cool with it. That's kind of like the whole, there was some college dudes that, this is kind of crazy. Let me finish the story before you cast judgment. So a girl came out and was like, yeah, these two football players molested me or raped me or whatever. I don't know what the difference between rape and molest is, but raped me. And then they go to court and everything, and then they get let off the football team because they're getting charged. And then she comes out, because there was a bunch of evidence being like, how the fuck did they arrest you if they weren't even, there? And then she's like, I lied, sorry. And then they didn't get back on the football team because they're like, there's too much press on them. It's like, this bitch just lied for no reason. She was mad about some shit and fucking lied. Like, why the fuck am I not getting my scholarships now, and now my fucking name is in the news as a molester, and I got kicked out of college? Like, what the fuck is that, bro? Like, that's crazy. So, that to say, I don't know, well, that didn't really have a lot to do with, I was going to cut it, but I'm like, fuck it, whatever. Shit's terrible, and also don't pass judgment until you hear about the shit. The same with the Johnny Depp thing. Like, apparently that fucking lady is crazy as fuck, and a lot of directors even came out and was like, yeah, she was a crazy little lady. I don't want to say the B word anymore. I feel like I said it too often already. But yeah, even with this dude, I'm like, bro, if y'all two agreed and then she gives back the money, like, you can't do that, bro. I'd be like, no, you can't give me back the money and then want to press charges. Like, you just set me up, essentially. That's like somebody being like, hey, bro, can I get some weed? And then you give them weed, and then they give you the money, and then they give you the weed back. Can I get my money? I want to take you to prison. It's like, what? What the fuck? No, you can't do that shit, man. Like, no, that's why we need to have... And I'm not saying, like, pissing on people is right. I mean, if that's his kink, that's his motherfucking kink. I don't fucking know, bro, but... Still, if he gives you money, you take the money. You can't just go give it back later and be like, I didn't like that. Like, the fuck kind of childish shit? You should know. This girl's 72 years old, motherfucker. Like, you are 72 years old. You know if you want to get pissed on or not. Like, the same way with Riley Freeman at the Boondocks. She seen piss come, she stayed. I see piss come, I move. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got shit pissed on her, and, I don't know. She gave the money back. That means she agreed to it initially. If I was like the judge, I'd be like, no, you don't go to jail. Like, I mean, I guess that's kind of bad look for Wells Fargo. I hope that he doesn't get any, charges or repercussions. Cause I don't know. It's not illegal to do that. And if you accepted it, that's like you going to Dubai and the dude's like, hey, I want to shit on you. And then, he shits on you, gives you, $1 million, and you come back, give the $1 million back, and it's like, well, I'm going to try to take you to court now. It's like, no, we agreed to something. You can't do that. I don't know. I don't think you should be able to do that. And hopefully he doesn't I personally don't think he should get into any, legal trouble with it, because it was an agreement. We agreed. You didn't like it at the end of the day. I made agreements I didn't like. Nothing like that. But I made certain agreements that I didn't like. Like trading video games with some of my friends, and now I trade out for a shittier video game, and I'm like, fuck, I can't go back and start bitching about it. It's just like, hey, it is what it is, bro. But, hey, whatever. All right, that's the episode. Talking about a lot of silliness or whatever, but hopefully, live by the golden rule, be nice to others, and treat others as you would like to be treated, and love the people close to you, because you know how much more time you got with them. Other than that, man, enjoy your the rest of your week, and don't put your head down, man. It's going to get better. All right, y'all. Peace.